It's a great day. My name is Che Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur, and welcome to the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the #1 business development and revenue-focused late-night show in the country where we are on a mission. And our mission really is to empower, our mission is to inspire, and our mission is to provide you, that's right, you, the hard-working entrepreneur, with all of the resources that are necessary to execute that big vision you have for the people you were called to serve. And on this episode, we have the one and only Crystal Gomez. She's in the business. She'll be talking about the power of technology that's really like the computer that's in your pocket. We'll talk about that in a minute. What's going on, Crystal? How you doing?
I'm well. How are you?
Well, great. And thank you to viewers for tuning in, by the way, because without you, we don't have a show. So you have a lot of choices, but you're here. So thank you. Before we get started, let's just address the elephant in the room. In the year that we live in today, why are folks still so afraid of expanding their knowledge with using technology? What's some of the things that holds them back from just doing that?
I believe it's a fear of the unknown. Anytime you've never done something, I mean, there's always a first time. We didn't get as good as we are today. We weren't this good the first time. So it does take a learning curve. And I feel that, in addition to the fear, some people feel like they should know how to do it. So there may be a little bit of embarrassment mixed in there when they don't know how to effectively utilize it, so they get a little frustrated.
Well, let's talk to the Shea Browns of the world, right? There's a group of folks that they just don't know what they're doing. I'll say that. There's other people like Shea Brown. Like, I have this phone in my pocket. I'm embarrassed to tell you, I know how to do email. Yay! I'm with some of y'all out there. I know how to use some of the apps. I can use banking. Yay! But yet, I'm always nervous about expanding to new apps and trying new things. I'm like, oh my gosh, do I have time to do that? Here's the question, and we'll get to her backstory. Y'all find out who she is in a minute. But why are we so afraid to continue to learn new technology that can certainly make our life easier, faster, easier, and better? And I'm guilty, ladies and gentlemen, because I stick to the same few apps, although I got a bunch of them on there, because it seems like it's too much work. Why is that, do you think?
It is. It comes down to change. As humans, we don't want to change. We like to do what we do when we do it when we want to do it. And that's actually why many of us become an entrepreneur. However, we do have to give that learning curve some time and take the time and have the patience to learn it, to decide, to make an intentional decision that you're going to put the time aside and learn how to conquer your fear, whatever that may be. In this case, it's the use of technology.
Okay. And lastly, before we get into her backstory, ladies and gentlemen, what do you say to the person that's like, maybe a little too late for me? Like, I'm 57, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. I know, I'm getting into that older category. And what do you say to the folks that are like, I missed the boat on that. I should have started 7 years ago, okay? I should have started 10 years ago. Is it too late for me to kind of get caught up to speed? Is it moving too fast for me? What do you say to that person that's watching right now? And they're an entrepreneur, by the way.
Absolutely not. It's never too late to get started. Although the technology is moving and changing at its core, it's the same. So don't be afraid to reach out to someone you trust. Perhaps it's myself, perhaps it's someone else, and ask them how to show you how to do it instead of doing it for you. I have someone that does that for me. Ask them to show you how so that you can be self sufficient, because every day our world is becoming increasingly digital, not just in our business lives, but in our personal lives. There's almost nothing that you can do that technology hasn't touched. The children can't go to school. You can't pay your bills. You cannot see a doctor. We don't even use maps anymore. I personally don't have keys. I think there's some keys somewhere down in the file, but honestly, I don't use keys. So everything's in my phone. So if utilize that tool you have, and especially if you're a business owner, make that phone become a business expense by utilizing it in your business. That's your video camera. That's the way you contact your clients, that's the way they contact you. I literally just tore out an entire room in my office that used to be for cabling for our phone system that we no longer need because our phone is a very, looks like this is a business phone now instead of that big, you know, box that you would have to have for the operator and everything. It looks just very much like a, old school cell phone.
I love it, by the way. Now, I know you're famous all over the world, but there's some folks that are meeting you for the very first time. They're like, Shay, I like what Crystal's saying. It makes sense. I can do better. I know I can, but who is Crystal, Shay? What is her backstory? And what led her to being so passionate about what she's doing now? So, you know the question, who are you? What's the backstory? And what was that defining moment? You said, you know what? I'm born to help other people use technology in their business so they can serve more people faster, easier, with less effort.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. I'm just a small town girl from Mississippi that at her core wants to help people. And as a business owner of many years, I've implemented processes and systems into my everyday routines that have made my life much easier. And I learned that many business owners were not doing the same. So I was able to merge my passion for helping people through helping them specifically with technology to scale their business because as a solopreneur of many, many years, I've always done it myself. And then when I needed help, I discovered different tools that I personally use, such as a digital business card. So, for example, I network a lot, 3 to 4 events on average a day. Yes, a day. And I would attempt to share my digital business card with others. And they would say, wow, that's cool. I've been meaning to get one of those. Or, wow, what are you doing to my phone? So we get the, mixed reactions there. Interested, a little bit of fear, but in the end, most people say, I would like help with that. So after just experiencing meeting so many people, I felt that I should establish an actual business that could properly help them instead of the few minutes I spent with them, instead of networking, that I ended up giving them a little tech lesson, which I don't mind, but I am now in the business of being able to fully help your business from the beginning to establishing the business to maintaining the business and scaling the business.
I love what you're doing. We had a chance to see each other again recently, have eye to eye contact, which was truly incredible. And I got to see you in your gift using your craft real time. And ladies and gentlemen, she was showing me a number of different tricks of the trade. And I was so thankful. So thank you so much. Take a moment and let's just talk about the power of the phone. Is there, for entrepreneurs that are watching right now, is there one or two apps that are kind of your favorite apps? I want to give away all your secrets. You're like, you know what? If this app is not on your phone, there's a challenge, right? Is there one or two apps you recommend for folks to be organized that are watching or listening right now?
Absolutely. And those two apps would be your digital business card. So it's an efficient way for you to give and receive your information. And it's important because I can't tell you the number of people I have on my list that I would love to contact. However, when manually entering their information, they made a typo. So now I have a name, a phone number, maybe an email, and unfortunately, both are incorrect. So I'm not able to reach that person. But with the digital business card, it allows you to disseminate your information quickly and accurately. And the other two apps would be your address book and your calendar that come on the phone. You have to have that calendar filled with appointments, or you should be out networking, getting more appointments, or book services, or whatever your business is that you sell. So you're either working, on a client or you're looking for one. So those three tools with the device that you've already spent thousands of dollars on, that you probably use to listen to music and play games and look for some place to eat. You can turn that into a powerful business tool. So you have everything you need in the palm of your hand. You don't need to go out and buy anything to get started.
Ah, I love it, by the way. And one of the things that I admire most about you when we met is that you've expanded the phone and you're also using it for media, which is video and taking images. Talk about the importance of being able to capture media and be able to use that as a marketing tool, because to me, the phone can do all of that and you can add to it. So take a moment, talk about the power of being able to expand beyond media and use your phone to be able to record what's going on and then use that for marketing later.
Yes, absolutely. So um, that phone that you have, that not only you can play games on, you can use that to film your location. You can make a video clip of yourself and tell people about your business, what you're doing. You can share your colleagues. You can record a seminar all with your mobile phone. You don't need a video camera. As a matter of fact, I do have a video camera that's very, very tiny, but my cell phone is the main point of reference because everything goes through the phone. Every picture I take, every video I make, I'm going to upload it to my social media platform, more than likely through my cell phone. So your cell phone is a marketing, advertising machine.
Indeed, it is, by the way. Indeed, it is. And as you were talking, I wanted to slow down for a moment because folks might be thinking, wow, Shay, her life is perfect. She learned technology. She's helping folks. And they might be curious, has there been a setback or a challenge you had in your life? So I think it leads to a good segment that we have here. And that segment is called Today is My January 1st. Now, for those folks that tune in every night at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you know what we're about to do. In fact, you can go ahead and say those magical words like right now. Today is my January 1st. And for all the new folks, welcome to the Happy Entrepreneur Show. Family, we're glad that you're here. Thanks for choosing us and watching or listening with your ears right now. Today is our January 1st is our personal mantra. It represents a fresh start. It represents a do-over. It means our past, no matter how dark and gloomy that past is, or how bright and sunny the past is, the past really no longer equals the future. And so the question that we have for the one and only Crystal on the other side is two parts. Number one, when you hear those words, today is my January 1st, what do you hear? And number two, when was ever time that you had a setback in your life or business? And how were you able to bounce back from it?
Well, as entrepreneurs, we're constantly being challenged. In our everyday lives, we call it life is lifing. So you have life lifing, and then you have your business lifing. So you have to learn to be resilient and to brush those things off. And as entrepreneurs, many of us quit every day. We say, we're not going to do this again. It's too hard. I give up, and you sleep it off and you wake up and you do it again tomorrow, because each day has its set of challenges. So don't let those challenges that you had yesterday to affect you today, because today is a new day for new opportunities, and those challenges just par for the core. Don't let it affect you. Don't internalize it. Just keep moving. Whatever you do, don't be discouraged, and know that more than likely the more challenges you have, that indicate you're actually on the right track. So don't be discouraged.
Don't be discouraged. Be encouraged, by the way. You know, as you're talking and you're listening now, one of the questions I like to ask when we have time, we have a few minutes now, is what's one of the best pieces of advice you've ever been given? And we're framing for the audience so they're kind of clear. They wouldn't ask you to come off the mountain with the 10 commandments here. Okay, that's not what we're looking to do. And she's had so many mentors, she might not even call all their names. She's read more books, I'm sure, than you can remember. And 1,000 hours they talk about. What a joke. I mean, I do that with my thumbnail on the weekends looking at videos. So in all seriousness, speaking here, what's one of the best pieces of advice you ever been given that you want to pass on to the audience?
Be yourself. We think that we have to be someone else. And in the end, if you're not yourself, you're going to struggle. So the right people will find you when you are yourself. Because if you're actually trying to emulate someone else, you may attract people that you don't want. So just know that being yourself is enough, and it will give you the results you want as long as you never give up. If you feel like giving up, reach out and find a mentor. Reach out to your support, if that's your family, your community, your colleagues, whoever can lift you up and remind you of that strong individual you are and not to give up and that you're on the right track.
So important. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for being so authentic. Thanks for being true to who you are. Um, what does success look like for you these days? What does it feel like?
Success means having achieved a feeling of achievement, that you've met your goals. You set those goals for yourself and you make a plan to implement them, and you implement them. What you see before you today has been a long time coming. This didn't happen last week. It didn't happen last year. It didn't even happen about 3 years ago when I decided to venture into this field. I am an accumulation of all of my experiences, whether they be good or bad, that have brought me to today and to this point.
Says so well, by the way. Um, as you and I were talking, we were there live, which was pretty cool, by the way, seeing you. I'm curious, what do you enjoy most about what you're doing? Because you were having a lot of fun. I mean, I thought I was having fun, but you and I, we were having fun. You even grabbed my camera and you was doing video with mine. You had two hands going on at the same time. Ladies and gentlemen, she can do it all. What do you enjoy most about what you're doing these days? You seem to be having a lot of fun.
I love interacting with people and I love to see people succeeding. So it was just a joy to see you also in your element. And I thought we got along well. We just melded together like we've been working together for years, doing what we each do as an individual. So I just love people.
Yeah, it's very important. And, you know, you're a big proponent, and one of your philosophies is around systems and having the right systems to do the things they need to do. Take a moment and talk about why systems inside of the business, while it may seem like it's a little uphill battle to begin with, the other side is so much better. Talk about the power of having the right system, which will weave in technology or automation. Having the right system can really catapult the business to an entirely different level. Why do you believe that?
First of all, it's important that you have a system in place because the technology itself is not the system. You have to have that system laid out. So, for example, when I network, before I go out, I have some pre planning. I make my templates, I put it on my calendar so that when I go out and I meet the people, they scan my digital card and their information goes into my system, which is called the lead capture. And then the automation begins to send out a series of messages based on certain triggers that I put in there, such as the name of the event. So it would be tailored to that person. So I had to plan all of that in advance in order for it to work, but it doesn't matter whether I follow up with people or not. The system is going to ensure that they are followed up on, and it delivers great customer service. Because what often happens, we network, we gather all these names, but what is your system to follow up with the people? When you're attending as many events as I do, there's very little time to send out letters. So everything being automated, the people that are truly interested in talking to me will respond, and the others I will review whether they looked at my communication or not, and we will follow up with each other. And then I end up on the number one business late night show.
A shout out. Gave us a shout out. Thanks so much, by the way. You're incredible. Um, in your line of work of what you do, are there affirmations you tell yourself? How do you stay consistent? There's some folks who might be watching saying, hey, Shay, I get what she's saying. In fact, I got started doing a lot of different systems, but I was never consistent and I fell off track. And I struggle with that, ladies and gentlemen. You heard consistency is the key. Consistency is the key. Consistency is the key. And having said that, what do we all struggle with? Shay Brown has two hands up. It's consistency. So take a moment and what do you share with your clients to help them be consistent so they can stay the course, so they can get the results they're really looking for?
Well, know that there's no one perfect system, and it's a work in progress. It's constantly being updated based on what I find my potential colleague or clients are responding to. Maybe I set up my system thinking that they would be interested in one thing, and I find out that actually interested in something else. So once you find out where their interest lies, then you do more of that. So if on my social media I'm posting videos or I'm making posts with a graphic, for example, I just one day posted a video, a short reel, just to be silly, and who knew it took off and people looked at that. And I thought, wow, I personally don't like looking at videos. That takes up my time. I'd rather read a post. But apparently, those that are interested in me would rather watch a video. So I adjusted, and now my automations and my social media posts are more with a video because that's what the person that you're trying to attract is interested in. So you're currently consistent. Be consistent first of all, but you also have to evolve. It's a work in progress.
And you talk about work in progress, and sometimes it can be very frustrating. I know myself, I first started podcasting and even posting. I promise you, I'd get one or two people that seem like watching it. And the two folks who watched the most of my stuff was my mother and my mother-in-law. I mean, it's like, you're like, oh, yeah, they saw it. Yes, yes. You get so excited. What do you say to and everybody's that fortunate to have a mother-in-law like me, right? So, like yours. So, what do you say to the persons out there now and they're saying, "Wow, I like what she's saying. I want to get started, but it's so depressing because I post and I'm doing all this technology and no one's liking my stuff, and I just feel like I'm wasting my time." What do you say to that person?
Well, first of all, I like to say we still have to have our biggest supporters, our mothers, our mother-in-laws. That's important to have your support system. And believe me, they're watching. You just keep doing what you do. If you truly feel like there's something that you can do better, then do some research. Reach out to your colleagues and ask them, did you see my post? And they'll tell you that they did. So a lot of the reason why I am where I am is because people saw a post that I didn't think they were paying attention to, and they said, "Hey, Crystal, I saw your post and I really like what you're doing. Can you do this for me?" And I thought, wow, no, I can't. That's not something that I do. But if you think that I can do it, with that understanding, let's give it a go. So don't be afraid to, that's part of that adjustment, to try something new. Because what happens, you hear in business, we have to reinvent ourselves and it sounds outdated, or they may say someone's doing too much, but all that means is that you have to keep up with what your audience is interested in, no more, no less. It's not a trend, it's what they're interested in that keeps them coming back to you. So when you think of technology and tech and cell phones and business, I want you to think Crystal Gomez. And I'm not the only one doing what I do. But if I'm constantly visible, then more than likely when you're ready for me, then you're going to reach out to me as opposed to someone else.
Mm. Well said, by the way. As we come down the home stretch, I'm curious, what do you do for fun? Is this fun to you?
Absolutely, it's fun hanging out with you, Che. But I love live music. I love theater. I love eating out. I love to eat. I don't like the cooking part so much. There are people out there that like to cook. I just like to eat it. So I'm, the lazy chef. So if I cooked you something, if I cooked you something, you're special because I don't cook.
I love it. As we come down the home stretch, two-part question. Number one, what type of clients is your firm looking to work with these days, if any? And number two, how can folks best connect with you? How can they be in this conversation with you over and beyond today?
Yes, I'm looking for entrepreneurs that are looking to establish or scale their business. So perhaps you've been in business for a while and for whatever reason been hesitant to implement processes and systems into your business utilizing technology, and maybe you realize now that that's the missing key. So once you've decided you would like that, I hope that you reach out to me, and you can go to my website crystalgomez.net, and from the website it speaks of my products and services and has links to my social media there. So that's crystalgomez.net.
Well, let me say thank you so much for being on the Happy Entrepreneur Show. I know you can always make more money, but you can't make more time. You've given us the most precious resource you have right now, which is your time. So thank you so much.
Thank you, and likewise at you, Che.
And thank you to viewers. Thank you for tuning in, by the way, because without you, we don't have a show, by the way. You have a lot of choices to make and you choose to be with us. So thank you. I never get tired of reminding you every night at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, no matter what's going on in your life, by the way, whether you're going up and you're on that fast track right now and you're zooming up, or you've been hit with the punch that you never saw coming. The one thing I do believe and I do know in my heart that today is your January 1st. And because of just that one reason alone, I believe your best is still yet to come. Your best is yet to come. Your best is yet to come. With that being said, my name is Che Brown. It hasn't changed. The Happy Entrepreneur. Make it a great day, everyone. We'll make some good things happen. We connect again next time. God bless. Peace. Talk to you later. Y'all have a great, great day. We out of here. Bye-bye.